The notorious killer Jason has finally been captured by the US government and is now held in a secure research facility. Since he can't truly be killed, scientists intend to freeze him using cryogenics. One of the guards becomes uneasy with Jason's cold stare, so he tosses a cover over Jason's face. At the same time, Dr. Rowan argues with her superior, who has decided to send Jason to another lab to study his regenerative powers for financial gain instead of freezing him. Rowan warns that this decision will only lead to more deaths, but her concerns are dismissed. Later, the lead scientist and a team of soldiers arrive to begin the transfer, but when they uncover Jason, they realize the guard is now the one chained up, dead. Jason then emerges from hiding and brutally slaughters the entire room. Despite being shot repeatedly, the bullets have no effect. Jason uses everything at his disposal, including his chains, to kill. When the head scientist tries to escape, Jason hurls a tool and kills him as well. Outside, Rowan sees a soldier crash through a door and screams. Jason follows her, so Rowan grabs the fallen soldier's weapon and runs to the lab, where she hides and waits. As Jason enters, she knocks over furniture and opens fire, managing to force him into the cryogenic pod. She then seals the door and begins the freezing process. But before the machine finishes, Jason plunges his machete through the pod, stabbing her. This damages the chamber, causing a cryogenic leak that the system detects, triggering lockdown procedures. As the freezing gas fills the room, Rowan ends up frozen along with Jason. Centuries pass, and Earth becomes a toxic wasteland. Humanity has moved to a new planet called Earth 2. One day, Dr. Lowe and a group of college students visit the old Earth on an academic excursion. Inside the facility, they discover the cryopod containing Jason. They also find Rowan preserved on the floor nearby. Deciding to take both bodies with them, they prepare to move Jason, but when they do, his machete slices off Azrael's arm. Thankfully, the android KM-14 quickly injects him with something to numb the pain. Fighting through a sandstorm, the group hauls the bodies back to the shuttle and launches it toward their main ship. Once aboard, Azrael is placed in a medical chamber, and his arm is repaired with nanotechnology in just minutes. Rowan and Jason are taken to different labs for revival, but not before preliminary tests are run. The team is surprised to find that Jason is functional despite having an unusually small brain. In Lab 1, nanobots repair Rowan's wound. In Lab 2, Adrian pokes Jason to extract a brain sample. Once Rowan is fully healed, she regains consciousness in a panic and slaps Lowe. He calms her down and explains everything, though she's stunned to learn she's hundreds of years in the future. Later, Lowe contacts the Solaris research station, uploading files on both Jason and Rowan, hoping to profit from them. However, resurrecting people from cryo-sleep isn't rare anymore, so Rowan is deemed unremarkable. Jason, on the other hand, is still notorious, and Lowe agrees to sell him as an exhibit. After ending the call, Janessa visits him to trade intimacy for a better grade. Meanwhile, Adrian removes Jason's mask, horrified by his grotesque face. She quickly puts the mask back and continues analyzing the sample. While she's distracted, Jason begins to twitch as he thaws. Elsewhere, Sunaran tries upgrading KM-14 by giving her realistic breasts, but the areolas won't stay in place. Two couples are getting intimate at the same time, and their noises seem to rouse Jason. Adrian turns around and sees the table empty. Suddenly, Jason grabs her from behind and hurls her across the room. She tries to alert Wayland through the glass wall, but he doesn't notice. Jason then drags her back, submerges her face in liquid nitrogen, freezes her head, and smashes it against the counter, killing her. He then picks up a machete and leaves in search of his next target. Meanwhile, Lowe brings food to Rowan and pretends to be unaware of Jason's history, prompting her to explain his indestructible nature. He later introduces her to the students and shows off their projects. She's especially intrigued by KM-14. At that moment, Wayland enters carrying Jason's old machete, and Rowan panics upon realizing Jason is aboard. Lowe insists Jason is dead, but Rowan demands proof. They check Lab 2 and discover Adrian's body, prompting Security Chief Brodsky to initiate a lockdown and instruct everyone to hide in Lab 1. In a nearby room, a couple prepares to leave, but Jason suddenly appears and kills the male student, spraying blood onto Kinsa. Jason drags the body away while Kinsa flees to alert the others. Enraged, Brodsky orders his team to eliminate Jason on sight. Lowe protests and offers money to sedate Jason instead. Brodsky pretends to agree, then secretly tells his squad to kill him regardless. In a dark room, Soldier Dallas is startled by a monstrous figure and shoots it down. A second one appears, but Azrael takes it out. It's just a simulation, and they haven't heard Brodsky's message. Before another creature arrives, Jason appears and slaughters it first. Then Jason turns his blade on the two soldiers. Though Jason beheads them, they keep speaking, which confuses him, until Dallas says, "Game over," ending the simulation. Now realizing Jason is real, they fight back. Dallas shoots Jason to free Azrael, but the bullets are useless. Azrael leaps onto Jason, who grabs and kills him by snapping his spine. Jason then smashes Dallas's face into the wall. Shortly after, 2 other soldiers find their bodies and alert the team, who grow increasingly alarmed. Engineer Crutch, wearing headphones, remains oblivious at his station. Through a mirror, Crutch spots Jason approaching. Before Jason can strike, Brodsky and his team arrive and yell at him to get down. They unload a barrage of bullets, destroying much of the room. Once the dust settles, Jason is nowhere to be found. Crutch heads to Lab 1 while the soldiers split up to search for Jason, assuming he's injured. This gives Jason the opportunity to resume his killings. He silently grabs one soldier and snaps his neck. Another is attacked with a machete and briefly fights back, but is eventually thrown onto sharp machinery and impaled. Other soldiers find the corpse and report it to Brodsky, who urges them to continue. Jason sneaks up on a female soldier and slashes her throat. She stumbles into a teammate for help, but collapses. As the teammate grieves, Jason appears, and the soldier fires at him. The bullets knock Jason into a hook. The soldier suspends him and declares victory over the radio. But Jason leaps down and slices the man in half. Brodsky eventually finds the last soldier hanging and realizes he's alone. Still determined, Brodsky stealthily moves through the halls until Jason punches through a wall and stabs him. Brodsky defiantly claims it isn't enough, so Jason stabs him again, finishing the job. Back in Lab 1, the group realizes they're now unprotected. Lowe contacts the pilot and orders an emergency hyperdrive jump to the Solaris station. The ship speeds up, but Jason reaches the cockpit and kills the pilot, causing the vessel to crash into Solaris. The impact levels multiple buildings and causes huge explosions, severely damaging the ship. It blasts through Solaris and keeps flying, leaving the port behind in ruins. Lowe considers turning the ship around, but watches in horror as the station explodes outside the window. The students panic, but Lowe assures them that help is on the way since he activated a distress beacon. Suddenly, someone starts pounding on the door, terrifying everyone until the banging stops. Before they can figure out what happened, Jason crashes through the glass wall of the adjacent lab. Everyone scatters and hides in a different room, which KM-14 locks behind them. Lowe stays and tries reasoning with Jason, offering him fame and fortune. Jason finds his original machete and silences him for good. Meanwhile, the rest of the group strategizes. They remember the shuttle and agree to split up. Rowan, Janessa, and Kinsa head to prep the shuttle while Waylander and Crutch activate it from the bridge. There, they find the pilot's body and have to clean the controls. KM and Tsunaran collect tools for upgrades and share a kiss. While heading to the shuttle, Rowan finds a soldier's corpse and grabs his weapon. Moments later, she spots another body that appears to be alive, so she tells the others to go ahead while she checks it out. Rowan carefully navigates around the wall spike and reaches the body, realizing it's Brodsky. He's badly injured, but she urges him to hold on, promising she'll return. Inside the shuttle, she calls for assistance moving Brodsky. Janessa checks in with Crutch to confirm the shuttle's readiness and requests backup for Rowan. Waylander soon joins Rowan, but they're unable to locate Brodsky's body. Meanwhile, Crutch is startled by the pilot's severed head, held by Jason. Crutch gets a warning out over the radio before Jason slams him into the control panel, electrocuting him to death. Upon hearing this, Kinsa panics and seals the shuttle door. Rowan, Kinsa, and Waylander plead with her to let them in, but she panics and launches the shuttle too early. It collides with the ship, killing Kinsa and causing further hull damage. As the trio debates their next move, Jason suddenly corners them. Just then, Tsunaran appears and introduces his upgraded version of KM-14, who is now armed and ready. Jason instantly throws his machete, and KM-14 drops in apparent agony. As Jason moves in to finish her off, she suddenly springs into action, shooting him with enough force to knock him back. She leaps after him and continues firing, mixing in some powerful kicks. After relentlessly shooting him, she launches herself once more and lands directly on him. She prepares to shoot him in the head, but Jason punches her away. Right as he's about to kill her, Brodsky arrives and distracts him, giving KM-14 time to regroup. Armed with another gun, KM-14 resumes firing, severing Jason's arm while also breaking through the wall, kicking him into Lab 1. Another blast knocks Jason onto the healing machine, causing sparks before KM-14 finishes him off with a shot to the head. For good measure, she hurls the machete into his body. Believing the danger has passed, the group gathers and moves Brodsky to another room for treatment. Brodsky is nearly 80% recovered when the ship suddenly shakes. Waylander realizes the hull is critically damaged. They receive a transmission from another vessel responding to their distress call, expected in 45 minutes. Unfortunately, the ship is set to explode in under 30. A tense argument follows as they figure out their options. Rowan spots an undamaged section on the ship map that might be detached from the main structure. While the team moves to execute the plan, the machine in Lab 1 reactivates and begins restoring Jason, transforming him with a cybernetic body. Meanwhile, the crew places bombs in the hallways to sever the damaged section. It doesn't take long, but once finished, they're blocked by Uber Jason. KM-14 opens fire, but the bullets bounce off harmlessly. She switches to hand-to-hand combat, but Jason quickly decapitates her. Sunaran grabs her head while Rowan shields him, prompting Jason to choke her. Waylander intervenes, distracting Jason long enough for the others to escape into the safe section. Once clear, Waylander detonates the charges, separating the ship, but he perishes, and Jason is hurled away by the blast. Soon after, the rescue ship approaches, but Jason bursts through the wall from outside. As a vacuum sucks the interior, everyone holds on. Sadly, Janessa clings to a vent grill, which breaks loose. Rowan reaches for her, their fingers barely brushing before Janessa is sucked out into space. Rowan, Brodsky, Sunaran, and KM-14's head reach another room and seal it. Through the window, they watch Jason break back into the ship, so they flee. They arrive at the docking bay just as the rescue ship connects, but the gate won't respond and Sunaran can't override it. Brodsky suits up for a spacewalk to reroute the wiring, exiting through the maintenance hatch. As he works on the panel, Sunaran and Rowan hear Jason forcing his way through doors. To buy time, Sunaran links KM-14's head to the computer, initiating a virtual simulation using data from Jason's hometown. Jason is initially confused. Thinking Jason sees him, Sunaran adds a second distraction, 2 women offering booze, marijuana, and premarital fun. Jason despises all of it, so when they crawl into sleeping bags, he grabs one and uses her to bludgeon the other. At that moment, Brodsky restores the controls and the gate opens. But the wirework triggers an explosion, ending the simulation. Jason charges at them, and Rowan and Sunaran dash into the rescue ship. Sunaran then realizes they left KM-14's head behind. Rowan rushes back and makes it to the bridge just as Jason appears. Before Jason can enter, Brodsky returns and seals the gate. The rescue ship lifts off just as the remaining half of the main vessel explodes. Rowan and Sunaran watch in horror as the blast sends Jason flying toward them. Thankfully, Brodsky is also flung in their direction and intercepts Jason. Using Jason as a buffer, Brodsky drags him through Earth-2's atmosphere, incinerating them both during re-entry. Rowan, Sunaran, and KM-14's head finally relax, relieved it's over. On Earth-2, a couple notices a shooting star landing in a lake and decides to check it out. The object is Jason's head, and it may still be alive.